persevere through some challenges. Rand Timmerman, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for joining us. And why don't you start off by letting people know where they can find you? I always like starting with that.
Sure. I have a website at randtimmerman.com.
To have on of how to persevere through some challenges. Rand Timmerman, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for joining us. And why don't you start off by letting people know where they can find you? I always like starting with that.
Sure. I have a website at randtimmerman.com, and they can email me at rand.timmerman@gmail.com. And actually, Kevin, if they Google, quote, a spiritual passage, unquote, the title of my book about hiking the Appalachian Trail, it pops right up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or if they Google my name, it's a bunch of stuff pops up.
Fantastic. Easy to find and easy to communicate with. I always like that for the audience. That's fantastic. Yeah. Just on the topic of that, we're going to get into it later, but is the Appalachian Trail, am I saying that correctly to start with? Appalachian?
Yes, it's the Appalachian Trail. It's the longest footpath only trail in the whole world.
Really?
2,200 miles. It goes from Katahdin Mountain in Springer Mountain in Georgia.
Okay.
2,200 miles through 14 states and ends up at Katahdin Mountain in Maine.
Through 14 states?
14 states, yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, and it goes over 600 mountains. 300 of them are named. Every state has a bear mountain.
Yeah. What do you mean by only 300, or did you say 600 are named or 300 are named?
300 of them are named. Yeah.
So there's unnamed mountains?
Yeah. Yeah. They have every kind of mountain you could almost think of in the whole world. And Washington Mountain in New Hampshire is famous for the highest winds ever recorded in North America, 243 miles per hour. Gets snow every month. You might as well be in the Alps,
Yeah.
Yep.
What are the temperatures? The temperatures must be vastly different along that trail, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're usually, if you were at the bottom of a mountain that you're on, the differential can be 10 degrees easy, depending.
Mm-hmm. Elevations are very different throughout it. There's a lot of climbing, a lot of descent. To get people to understand very quickly what we're getting into here. Yes. Wow.
There's 100,000 feet of elevation changes. That's almost 500,000
oh my goodness,
going up or down. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. And so Everest is known for like the ascent and not the distance. Is that correct? Is that how that would differ from this? Because I know I've heard about Everest a lot, not the Appalachian Trail.
No, it's not on the Appalachian Trail. Mount Everest is it's like 24,000 feet high. You're way above the oxygen. The highest mountain on the Appalachian Trail is like a little less than 7,000 feet, I think. I don't know what the average is. About 3 million people hike on the Appalachian Trail every year, Kevin. Mm-hmm. About 3,000 roughly are through hikers trying to do the whole deal. And of that, about 500 make it. It's around 17%. So it's a real challenge for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I could do that, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that with having you on this podcast today. I think we're gonna have to rechange the mindset there. But anyways, thank you so much for coming on. It's a real honor. I was reading some of your background, and it's truly impressive. Some of the stories that some people can take out of listening to you. So thank you once again. And going right back, fighting in the Vietnam War, is that correct?
Yes. Yep. I enlisted in the Marine Corps when I was 19.
Wow.
Yep. That I was born in upstate New York. A lot of people think of New York as being all cities, but I grew up in a very agricultural area. Probably 4 counties, 5,000 square miles. Very rural, more cows than people, a lot of dairy farms. Mm-hmm. Now it's kind of more crops, but in those days it was dairy farms and, cheese plants and stuff like that, all agriculture related. Well, half the boys that came to school where I grew up had manure on their boots.
Wow. That's not what you think about when you think New York. And
Yep.
my perspective obviously has changed a little bit, learning a little bit about geography and learning about New York itself. But yeah, a lot of people would be surprised. Like even I believe New York's top export doesn't have anything to do with banking or city. It has to do, still fancy, but I believe diamonds is one of their top exports. But I was a little caught off guard. So you learn something new every day, and perspective definitely changes with age a little bit. But leading up to enlisting, is this something that you always thought that you were going to do, or was this a something that made you want to do it? How did that process happen leading up to it?
Well, I became a warrior and a patriot, I guess would be the one way. At 5 years old, you become aware. And when I became aware and looked around, I thought, we're screwed.
Wow.
My dad, I remember Christmas Day in 1951. I was 5 years old, and we had a tree, and there was a few bulbs on it, and there was a wagon, a push pedal wagon that my dad had gotten from the dump and painted it red. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And my little sister, who was 3, cried the whole day because she wanted a doll. And I'll never forget, Kevin, the looks on my parents' faces when the dismay and the pain. My dad was standing there on crutches. He was a Mustang pilot in World War II.
Wow.
At the beginning of World War II. And he came home, married my mom, had me and my brother, and got polio. Probably in our village of 2,500 people, I'm going to say it was at least 100 people that had polio.
Wow.
People don't realize how devastating polio was. My dad had 2 cousins. One was 19 and one was 20. They got polio, and on the same day they died because they couldn't breathe. My dad somehow managed to get to the Children's Hospital in Utica, which in those days would have been about a 2-hour drive from where we live. I don't know how it happened. Nobody ever talked about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he spent a year in the hospital, 8 months in an iron lung. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically a barrel with your head sticking out of it. It's, on its side, and it's pumping air to make you breathe. Otherwise, you can't breathe. He came out of that paralyzed from the waist down. I don't know what kind of a man he was before that, but I know what kind of man he was after that. He was a tough guy, man. Tough guy. Very hard worker. Extremely hard worker, and but the medical bills had to be unreal. So we were very poor. I went to bed hungry a lot. I think I was a teenager when I finally got clothes somebody else hadn't worn out, shoes that didn't have holes in the bottom. Like living on dandelions and potatoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but wow, what a experience and what a history there. I mean, wow, but getting through that is the story. Wow.
So I had to be with him a lot when he wasn't at work to get stuff. I was kind of the gopher, but the good part of it was we were surrounded by farms, so I could walk across the street and walk into a barn and say, you got anything I can do? And I could shovel the manure and take it out on a spreader and drive a tractor at 12 years old and spread it and come back and give me a quarter. So there was a lot of good aspects to it too. I got involved in the Boy Scouts. All my uncles were World War II vets. Some of them, one of them was, D-Day. And another one was a bomber gunner, belly gunner. They were tough guys and they never talked about the war, but I don't know. I came from a warrior class. I had no idea what that meant at the time, but
yeah, it sounds like it was around. It was around and small town. I mean, it sounds like it's a good thing, though. It sounds like that provided a lot of support. When you needed it to be able to walk on another farm.
Yeah.
You hear about it all the time and you see it in cities, people living on the streets. So at least, the family and the community was there for you. It's beautiful.
Yeah. My grandfather had bought a bunch of land and he gave each daughter, he had 5 daughters and 1 son. He gave each daughter, when they got married,